Okay, this is episode 13 of the Daily Market Outlook. Today is the 28th of February, and let's dive in. So, the Forex calendar is saying we have all day news for the Euro, German prelim CPI, and then at 8:30 we have core PCE price index, and this is New York time. So, let's dive straight into the charts. This is the DXY on the weekly time frame. The DXY has been rejecting this weekly order block, and this is currently my target. I might reassess it depending on how this weekly candle closes. So today, yeah, we have 15, basically 16 hours before this weekly candle closes. As of right now, it's looking pretty bullish. And yeah, let's dive into it. So on the daily time frame, what we have is price has been trending lower. So we've been respecting highs and breaking lows, as you can see right here. So this is what price has done. We've been doing this. We've just been trending lower, right? And my natural expectation for price is to just see price continue trending lower, especially because of this higher time frame target that we have right here on the Dixie, and on the Euro we have the same one because it's inversed. So this is today's candle. We have two options for today's candle, in my opinion. We have multiple options, but these are the two most probable options. The first one is this is the low of the day, and now we're just going to continue trading up higher into this zone. Once we're in this zone, unless we get into this zone like fairly early, I will be looking for shorts, but only if it's very, very clear. The second possibility is that price goes lower into this current fair value gap. I know this candle hasn't closed yet, so some of you guys would consider a fair value gap once the candle is closed, but this is currently, this zone right here from here to here, is currently an inefficiency area. So price can trade down into it today and then still reverse higher up from it. So those are the two scenarios. Either one, we go up into here right now, or we come lower and then we go higher. That's the daily time frame. As you can see, I've marked this high out as a liquidity sweep for now. We'll reassess once price comes into this zone if this was a liquidity sweep or a market structure shift. This is currently basically the range that I believe we are trading in on the Dixie, and so I've already marked this out, and this would be the OTE would be right like literally aligned with the daily gap. So we're at an interesting area right now, or at least we're going to target probably an interesting area. On the 4-hour time frame, what we see is price has closed above this high. This is the daily liquidity sweep. We have closed above this high, and naturally, right, all we're doing is trading highs and lows because that's what the market does, apart when it consolidates. But what we want to see after a higher high is a pullback before continuing higher. The problem here is, and this is a problem you'll face many, many times, is we don't know if this is the high right now. Like, we don't know if this higher high is finished or if we're going to continue pushing up into this daily zone, like straight from here. Like, maybe we're still expanding right now. But so yeah, that's basically, you'll have to use the 15-minute time frame to understand that. And this is what I mean by this is, oh yeah, just quickly, we have this 1 hour zone right up here. You can see this 1 hour order block fairly clearly right here. And yeah, so price could, this is just, I'm just writing down like the confluences. Price could basically reject from here. If you look at the 1 hour candle as well, we have no lower wick. This has been less of a displacement. This could be considered liquidity, but yeah, basically I've just marked out the zone in case we're looking to trade from it. So in the 15-minute time frame, this is literally how you can approach every situation like this where you don't know if we're going to continue going higher or if you don't know we're going to go lower. So what is accumulation, manipulation, distribution? Very simple. This is the Asia range. This is the high. This is the low. And what we want to see is coming into London session, so it would be 2 a.m. right about here, is we want to see if price will push down before potentially pushing higher, or if price is going to push higher before potentially pushing lower, right? So London opens, we sweep these highs, get SMT, whatever on the lower time frames, push lower, and then we're looking to trade lower. So that is how I'm going to approach this trading day. Either we are going to come down with momentum, push lower, and then we might get some displacement higher, or we might trickle higher, continue going higher, and then we might look for a short. That is how I'm approaching the yeah, this day basically on the DXY. Let's go to the euro. So on the euro, the weekly time frame, we have the same candle, obviously, as the Dixie, as they act as opposites. And it's looking pretty bearish as of right now. My higher time frame analysis is still bullish up into this high and potentially this weekly zone up here. The euro has, sorry, the euro has rejected this weekly breaker and this monthly order block, and that's why basically I'm looking to continue seeing higher prices. We've swept this liquidity as well. On the daily time frame, what we are looking at is this low. So we've potentially swept this low. Right now we have, with this candle, body closed below it, but depending on price, on how price acts, we might see this area act as a support level before pushing higher. This is a really big bearish candle. So what we have to keep in mind is what's the most probable scenario right now is price trickles up and then we push lower. But because my high time frame analysis is still bullish, we'll just have to see. We'll have to let price do its thing, wait for development, and reassess when things are clear. So the daily time frame, there's not much to say apart from these equal highs, which have still not been swept yet, and we've added even more liquidity right above it. So it's a really clean liquidity pool zone. You can imagine that when price comes up into here, we will get a pretty nice correction because of how much liquidity is above these highs. On the 4-hour time frame, we have this drawn liquidity, which is marked out as the doll. So right here, we have this drawn liquidity. And what the 4-hour has done is it has broken below this low. So I've marked out my range right now, and what I want is a pullback and potentially continue shorting it. We have these lows right here, which might be a target for price. But higher time frame bullish, lower time frame short term bearish. So these are not the highest probability scenarios. So just be aware of that coming into today's trading session. Let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame. So as I explained for the DXY, what we're looking at is when price creates a lower low, we're looking to get a higher high come in, right? So price comes down here, we want to get a pullback, and then we want to short to continue the low prices. So we are currently at this area right here, which is the lower low. So naturally price might want to be drawn to some of these highs up in here. So this liquidity pool, this low resistance liquidity, and yeah, so you just have to keep that in mind, that we are potentially going to want to push higher from here before continuing lower. We could either continue lower straight from here or do a pullback and then maybe we see the lows go. I'm just trying to see if there's any specific zone supporting price. So apart from this rejection block, which I will still mark out, this 15-minute rejection block right here. One second, bear with me. So we are in this rejection block, and listen, it can do two things, as I've said. We can either go lower or we can go higher, and that probably makes sense, like that's obvious. But as of right now, what I would like to see is if we want to go higher, creating a pullback, I want to see this low go, then I want to see a shift in market structure. That was the worst shift in market structure you could ever draw. A shift in market structure, and then this is where we take our long, targeting 50% of the range down, so targeting premium prices. And then yeah, that's it. That is it for the euro. Now let's go to the pound. Pound now is actually looking more clean. So this is a target that I've been mentioning the whole week. The pound has mitigated this daily rejection block, which had mitigated this overall daily zone. So just right here, whoops, this daily zone. And it's currently pushing lower. So what are we going to do? Just probably keep trading lower prices until this previous weekly low, which matches with our daily gap right up here that we want price to come into. That's the daily time frame. On the weekly time, on the 4-hour time frame, sorry, price is broken below this low. This is our range. We have this 4-hour zone, which is pretty clean. And yeah, it's the same thing, right? We're at a low, we're expecting a pullback before creating another low, or we just continue the low. So I'm not even sure I need to go down to the 15-minute time frame to explain that. We have nice liquidity built up into here. If we see displacement, and I mean body candle closures displacement, like if we see price break above this high, then it would be a nice target to potentially come up into this 4-hour range. So that is it for the daily market outlook video. I hope this helped you. And yeah, just be safe during today's trading day. It's Friday. Some of you might consider that as a lower probability trading day. I don't necessarily consider it as a lower probability trading day. It just depends on the conditions. But still be wary. Okay, guys? See you probably this week for another video.